Well, I'd like to give you a preliminary introduction to something I'm planning to commit myself to do. I don't make many real commitments, but I'm making a commitment to do a program for at least 18 months. It may be likely that 27 for my math works better, but yeah, you'll see. What is it going to be? Well, it's going to be a multi-layered program, and the bottom layer of this is health, physical health. And it's based on the principle of how to use biochemical, nutritional food and supplements to basically restore the physical body, organs, glands, and so on. RAYID Restore, Restore Health, or just the RAYID Health Program. I'll explain how it's going to work, but it's also going to have another optional layer to add into it, three primary layers of how to add into the physical layer, the emotional layer, and the spiritual layer to make a composite. Now, for those of you who, if you're really lucky enough to listen to this, and you don't want to really participate in anything, we would like you to consider participating anyway. Because here's what we're going to do. We'd like you and other people to get your biological age tested. Now, that's not an easy thing to do in general, and it's not cheap. There are now new genetic tests that can measure what's called the methylation crystals on your DNA, and with a degree of approximately 98% accuracy, determine your present biological age in a comparison to your chronological age. The goal would be for maybe as much as a 20% reduction in your biological, scientifically measured age. So for me, I'm basically, for some of you who don't know, I'm actually in my 70s. No, it's not my late 70s. So if I were in my 70s, my goal would be a minimum of 15 years off my chronological age, and then I would be looking to be 60 or a little bit less, maybe even more. The scientific data exists that it's possible, theoretically, in recent scientific tests, to be able to reduce your biological age by as much as 50% or more. Yes, there's all the ethical reasons that come out. Why would you want to live longer? What happens to overpopulation? And all those other abstract theological patterns. And well, yeah, there's lots of reasons why you may not want to do it or want other people to live. So I'm asking you to go and do a little research on your own if you want. The program I'm going to be following is the work of David Sinclair, who has a book called Lifespan. Now, inside this work, he's a Harvard geneticist. They've identified the three primary genes that reset biological age. And if you supply a select group of nutrients, chemicals, then you will trigger these genes to begin to regenerate a new physical body at a younger age. Meaning, literally, if I'm 75, it can regenerate my physiology back to 50. And then I might actually end up living an extra 50 years. For me, it's not so much about the lifespan, which is the name of the book, by the way, Lifespan by David Sinclair. It's the quality of life lived during that time. That apparently the quality of life gets better. Now, there are some other optional criteria. One of them would be There's a gene turned on by exercise. There's a gene turned on by heat and cold. So exercise of various forms, heat and cold like sauna. I'm installing a sauna in my house. I'm planning on doing maybe 5 a week, 30 minutes. And there is scientific evidence in a Finnish study that over 20 years, 20,000 men, if they did 5 saunas a week, they had a 40% reduction in overall mortality after 20 years. But not only the mortality was different, the quality of their physical health was different. So there are genes to regenerate the body with hot and cold, including cold plunges. Not my favorite, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to do the entire physical program, including the supplements, and do before and after blood work. And I'm planning on doing the blood work test every 3 to 6 months. I want to follow this progress and then add into it the map you see behind you. Is I want to reformat the regeneration of the body according to a newer paradigm of unifying the cycles and seasons function and following a new birth order pattern, which I now believe is the best one I've arrived at after 50 years of work. I want to show you what I would consider to be the optimum thing to reprogram my physical body with to produce a long-term memory of a desire to want to be in equilibrium with the entire family tree and cycles and seasons, times of the day, and so on. So I'm going to enthusiastically do this. Now, I have to admit, I've been doing this for 3 months now, and it's had a really noticeable effect. So noticeable, I had to make a major decision. Why am I so resistant to doing the other elements of it? And I had to do some deep soul searching, diving. And the truth is, I don't want to live. And I don't like most of you. Sorry. What I'm meaning by that is, no, I don't want to live because I want to go on into a nicer place that I've seen. So my personal resistance to regeneration is, wait a minute, if I do this regeneration program and I live another 50 years, are you crazy? Who wants to live another 50 years in a chaotic, disturbed, polluted, violent, cruel? Yeah, that's my own personal issues about how I see humanity. That's a personal issue. And I realized that my desire to leave was sabotaging my own capacity to get the greatest potential out of being alive. So I'm doing my own homework. I'm protocoling that one, and I'm still in it. I'm not done, because part of it is I've been just really angry at authority, bureaucracy, government, politics, religions, aliens, whoever it is that controls the violence on. I've been really unhappy about this. So I have to process my feelings about it. So I'm doing the protocol all the time. I'm continuing to do my postures, not as frequently. I do them 3 or 4 times a day instead of once an hour. So I'm continuing to do the overall program, but the difference is I'm making an emotional commitment to regenerate my body and use my existence as a genuine service to other people. I got to tell you that my primary direction to do it is likely to be with children. So yes, I'm working on programs specifically for children, primarily using stories, primarily using education for their parents. So I confess, I really do, that I don't like most adults. They're not nice. They lie, they deceive, they're ignorant. I judge the crap out of them. They're addicted, they're murderous, they're selfish, they're entitled, they're cruel. Who wants to live with those people? Okay, I need to do my own feelings about anger, about father and childhood and authority and God. And yes, 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 I know, I need to do my own work. Don't pick on me. But I've now made the commitment to be more vigorous about staying here. And I'm going to do my best to follow the scientific protocol to regenerate my physiological body to age 50. And then have some experience and wisdom to go with it. So if I live another 50 years, geez, who wants to live another 50 years on Earth? Do you know how crazy it's going to be 20 or 30 years from now? Okay, maybe that's just me. I think the world is, like wonderfully, beautifully creative and crazy at the same time. So would I really rather live with all of you? Well, wait, if you're listening to this video, you're probably one of the nicer people on the planet. So how do we even begin to educate the parents who are causing brain damage and diseases to their own children and grandchildren? They need a specific way to see it. Now, one of the things that's motivating is physical health. So if we can design, along with science, combined with RAYID principles of cycles and seasons and ancestry and so on, if we can demonstrate scientifically that our regeneration of the body exceeds the norm, then we'll have evidence that the use of alternative methods is capable of being a regeneration of the body, but we can bring into it higher principles of well-being, peace, the love of truth, generosity to one another, compassion, authenticity, to live a spiritual existence in its highest form while in the body on earth. Okay, that's something I could get behind. So I don't know how many of you or how many of other people are going to do this, but between now, which is basically June, first week of June, and the end of August, we'll develop this program while testing it. I suggest you get started right away. Go ahead and do the research. You can go online, lots of anti-aging videos on YouTube. You can look at David Sinclair's work. You can look at the supplements. You can find what you can get. But by August, we'll have a source for you to get it all. We're also currently in negotiation with the genetic company to reduce the price of the genetic testing by group buying. So right now we have an agreement at 10%. At a $300 test, we get 10% off. The goal is when we have more than 10 people, we get 20% off. Then we're looking to negotiate because we want to be able to use the biological age testing. If you want to look at it, it's called the Horvath clock. Horvath clock. It basically shows you the curve of where different methylation crystals are on the biological age. If you're above the curve, you're dying faster. They can predict your death along this axis. If you're younger than that, then you have a longer lifespan scientifically. So we want to use the Horvath clock, biological age, like a barometer or a speedometer. We want to be able to see, is it working? Is it not working? We've done 6 months of this program. Is anything actually happening? I'm inviting you to enlist people who kind of don't want to participate, meaning they want to participate but not really do anything. So what we'd like them to do is to become the control group. They live their normal life. They do whatever they do, but they do nothing of the things, no supplements, no meditations, no, they do nothing else. They are curious enough to watch you do it. But what we'd like from them is get their blood lab data, have blood labs. Ideally, they would also get their biological age tested. So after 18 to 27 months, we compare the control group with our group, and we can see a difference or not. If at the end of 27 months, we have a predictable substantial difference, and you can show that to people who may have been cynical the whole time, it might be motivational enough for them to at least start to take care of their physical biochemical reality, which includes just changing their diet, eating less sugar, less alcohol, less smoking, a little bit more exercise, just the biochemical level. If we can show we're making substantial progress in our biological age by utilizing the emotional equivalent and striving for the empathy, non-judgment, receptivity, we're going to follow a very distinct map of these colors. We're going to follow a very distinct sequential map of cycles and seasons, month by month, over 27 months, approximately. The numbers mean a lot to me, but not a lot of other people. So this is what's coming. All the details about how to do this and how much it's going to happen and where to order supplements and things. Nearly all of them are available naturally, like B3, B12, some of those. They're all readily available, B6. Some of the ones that are there, the berberine, which is a molecule that mimics the same thing, actually is the molecule that they use to design metformin, a drug. He synthesized the berberine molecule because it was cheaper. You can go back to the berberine molecule, which is really just from a plant called goat's rue. And that molecule, it costs 10 times more to get it in its natural form, or it's much cheaper in the metformin. I'm taking the metformin. I'm following that program. I'm also doing some berberine just to give me the natural influence of the berberine. Okay, I like to do synthesis stuff. But that's where the program's going. So if you have questions on this, you can post it. We'll answer the questions, find the sources, get the supplements, get the program going by September. September is a change of seasons, a change from the father's family to the mother's family in the Northern Hemisphere, or a change from the mother's family to the father's family in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, we'll do all the equinox stuff and all the wild and crazy stuff I like to do. Okay, the long and short of it is, I'm staying. I don't like the idea. I'm still resistant to it, but at least I know I'm resistant. I'm getting over my resistance. I'm not done, but I'm making the decision to stay. Most of it work with kids, tell some stories, hang out with a few adults, but not many. Later on, we'll talk about the importance of actual friendship, not the illusion of it. Some of you might actually become friends. That would be really weird. Wow, we might actually like each other one day. Wow, that would be pretty cool. We can give and receive. Nah, sorry. My cynicism sets in. I don't know if I want to do that at all. You're dangerous. You're adults. You're crazy. Okay. I'll process my own stuff. I'll just, I'll do the protocol on this and the protocol on that, and I'll try to avoid. Never mind. This is an introduction. This is only an introduction. You can decide how much more you want to do. Go away. I've got enough. I don't want to. Go on. See ya. Bye.